Hello students, this is Akshita, your educator. I welcome you all on the platform of Global Online. So as we know, friends, Global Online platform has launched a complete course for upcoming Maharashtra Law CET Entrance Examination 2023, and in this particular series we are dealing with the whole syllabus of the Law Entrance Examination. Before moving into the video, friends, let us discuss what are the features of the complete course launched by Global Online platform for this particular course. Here you will be provided with the full syllabus live video lectures, full syllabus test series, full syllabus notes will be provided in the form of PDF, and the course fees for all the above features will be 2000 rupees including the mock test. Okay, so simply you have to contact us on this given WhatsApp number and get enrolled to the course. And as well, you can get enrolled to the course from the Play Store. First step, you have to download the application from the from the Play Store, that is the Global Online application with such a logo. Once you will install it, open the application, you will find such interface where there is an icon named as store downwards. Okay, you have to click on it. You'll move to the page called as my courses, where there is a search tab. In that particular search tab, you have to type CET. Once you will type CET, course along with the fees will be displayed downwards, and hence you can get enrolled to the course. So let us begin with the lecture. Let us discuss some of the basic things regarding the clocks. Now, what are the parts of the clocks? Okay, in clock we find the face of the clock and the hands of the clock. Basically, what is the face? The visible portion of this clock is nothing but the face of the clock. This is called the face of the clock. Now, basically, what are the hands of the clock? In hands we find there are three basic hands of the clock, that is second hand, minute hand, and hour hand. Okay, now what is second hand, what is minute hand, what is hour hand? Basically, hour hand represents or denotes the hour. It denotes the hour. And minute hand is something that is constantly showing the minutes. Okay, this is the minute hand, for example. And the second hand is something that is moving or having a circular motion constantly. Okay, it is having the circular motion constantly. It is nothing but the second hand. Minute hand is something showing the minutes, and hour hand represents or denotes the hour. Now, what we have to see regarding the clock before moving into the portions or the facts regarding the clocks that we have to remember, that is the angle of the clock, or minute hand is making how many angle, or hour hand is making how many hour, because this kind of questions are asked in the examination. Before moving into that fact, we must be able to know that the circumference of watch, circumference, it means that the outer portion, the circumference of the clock, right? We call the circumference of circle. So basically, clock over here is a circular in shape, so we will take the circumference of the clock. So here, circumference of the clock, what we can denote is, it is 360 degree. It is making one complete circle, right? Circumference of the clock is making here in this particular clock, it is making 360 degree. As we know, there are different shapes of the clock also, but basically we have to consider the inner portion, inner part of the clock as the 360 degree, making the circumference and the angle of 360 degree. Now, how we have divided the circumference of watch? Basically, this 360 degree, the circumference of the watch has been divided into 60 equal parts. This has been divided into 60 equal parts. So basically, if we look carefully, we can find that in the watch there are 60 equal parts. So basically, in between 12 and 1 we find 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 and 5 minutes. So basically, there are 5 parts that have been made between 12 and 1. So basically, when we see that different division on the circumference of the circle of this particular clock, we find there are 60 equal parts. So basically, how many lines can be drawn over here? They can be drawn 60 lines. There are 60 equal parts. Now, these 60 equal parts denotes 60 minutes. Oh, so basically these 60 equal parts are denoting the 60 minutes. If we go for one part, if we go for one individual part over here, so one part is denoting 1 minute. So basically, if I look into this particular diagram of the clock, what I can find is, if this is 12 o'clock, this is 1 o'clock. Okay, here
So the distance between these two parts is denoting how much minute? It is denoting 1 minute. So basically there are 60 parts. It means there are 60 minutes. So this was the fact that we have to remember regarding the clock. What I have told right up till now, what I have told you, there are the parts of the clock, that is the face of the clock and the hands of the clock. The visible portion of the clock is nothing but this is called as the face of the clock. And what are the hands? What does the hand denote? In the hand we find three different hands, that is second hand, minute hand and hour hand, and the circumference of the circle, that is equivalent to 360 degree over here, that denotes there are 60 equal parts of the clock, and 60 equal parts is equivalent to 60 minutes. It means that one part is equivalent to how much minute? It is equivalent to 1 minute. These were the things that you have to remember regarding that of the clock. Okay. Now as I told you that there are three different hands of the clock, basically we have to see the facts regarding this hand, that is second hand, minute and hour hand. Okay, we have to see the facts one by one. The very first fact is our hand in 1 hour makes an angle of 30 degree. For example, this is 12 o'clock and this is 1 o'clock. Okay, here this is the hour hand. Okay, this is the hour hand for example, and we here if we are finding the minute hand, this is the minute hand and under way second hand. Let us not draw the second hand, only we have to focus here on the hour hand. Now when the hour hand is moving from 12 o'clock, it is moving from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. So basically the hour hand is moving from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Here it is crossing how many degrees, or it is forming how many degrees over here? It is making degree, that is 30 degree. It is making 30 degrees. So basically our hand in 1 hour, how much degree it is making? An angle of 30 degrees. So basically in 1 hour, the hour hand is making or crossing how many degrees? It is crossing 30 degrees. This is the very much important fact that we have to use in the form of MCQs. Here again, if I ask you the question over here that the time right now is 10 o'clock. Okay, 10 o'clock, and after 12 o'clock, that is at 12 o'clock, not after 12 o'clock, the time right now is 10 o'clock for example. At 12 o'clock, how many degrees the hour hand has crossed from 10 o'clock? So basically now the time is 10 o'clock after 60 degrees. After 60 degrees, that is 10 to 11 it is making 30 degrees, and from 11 to 12 it is making again 30 degrees. So basically here when the hour hand is moving from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, it is crossing how many degrees? It is crossing 60 degrees. So this is the fact that you have to remember regarding the hour hand, that hour hand in 1 hour is crossing how many angle? It is crossing 30 degree angles, and in 2 hours it will cross 60 degree angles. In this way we have to calculate the hours, right? That is the angles regarding the hours. Now moving on to the second fact. Please do screenshot this whatever I am writing on the slides, because these are only the notes that I will provide you in this particular topic. Okay. Now as we have seen in this previous fact that our hand in 1 hour is making 30 degree, but the minute hand it is making 30 degree in 5 minutes itself. Okay, the fact regarding the minute hand that we have to keep in mind is that it is making 30 degrees in 5 minutes itself. For example, this is the hour hand. For example, the time right now is 12 o'clock. Okay, the time right now is completely 12 o'clock and the minute hand is on the 2. Okay, it is showing that the time right now is 12:10. Okay, 12:10 is the time right now. If the minute hand is moving from 2 to 3, it is moving from 2 to 3, it means the time will be 12:15, right? The time will be 12:15. So basically when the minute hand is moving from 12:10 o'clock to 12:15 o'clock, it means that it is crossing the angle of how many degrees? It is crossing the angle of 30 degrees. Okay, so if we go for the fact, the minute hand in 5 minutes is making how much angle? It is making the 30 degree angle. If the question asked to you over here is, for example, I give you the question like this. Now the time is 9:10. For example, this is the hour hand and this is the minute hand. That the time right now is how much? The time is 9:10. Okay, 9:10. Time is 9:10. If we have to calculate the angle crossed by the minute hand, angle crossed or angle made by minute hand from 9:10, from 9:10 to 9:20. So basically now the time is 9:10. Okay, now when the time becomes 9:20, it means the minute hand is on 4, right? So how much angle does the minute hand has crossed over here in this 10 minutes? As we know, in 5 minutes it is crossing how much angle? It is crossing 30 degrees, right? It is crossing 30 degrees, and in next 5 minutes it will cross again 30 degrees. So basically the total angle made by this minute hand will be 60 degree. So this is the fact that we have to keep in mind, and such kind of questions can be asked that we will discuss in detail in the upcoming time. Okay, so minute hand in 5 minutes makes an angle of 30 degree, and such kind of questions can be asked. Moving on to the next thing, please do screenshot this. Okay, I'll rub it out. Now in this previous fact, as I told you, in minute hand is covering 5 minutes, in 5 minutes it is covering 30 degrees. So basically if we calculate the minute hand, if we see that the minute hand, this is the minute hand for example, and these are the parts, these are the 5 equal parts in between both of them, that is the difference of 5 minutes between 12 and 1, right? So in this what we can find is, if it is crossing 30 degree in 5 minutes, then in 1 minute it will cross how much degrees? This is the thing that we have to keep in mind over here. Now in 1 minute it will cross to 6 degrees. Okay, if particular time is here for example 12, okay, 12 o'clock. Now the time, the angle at 12:01. Okay, for example this is 12 o'clock, okay, and this is 12:01, okay, 12:02, 12:03, 12:04. So basically the time that we have to, okay, so this is 12 o'clock and this is 12:01. Okay, that is 12 is crossing how many minutes? 12, the minute hand over here is crossing, about how much degrees? It is crossing about 6 degrees. Okay, so basically when 1 minute occurs, it means that the minute hand is crossing 6 degrees. So basically this is the thing that we have to keep in mind. Okay, now nextly, what we have seen till now, we have seen that the hour hand in 15 minutes, our hand in 1 hour is making an angle of 30 degree. In 1 hour it is crossing how many? 30 degrees, and the minute hand in 5 minutes is crossing 30 degrees. Okay, basically if 5 minutes is equivalent to 30 degrees, then 1 minute will be equivalent to how much degrees? It will be equivalent to 6 degrees. Okay, now basically for solving the questions, these things are very much important. That is, in 1 hour there are 60 minutes. In 60 minutes it covers 360 degree, as we know this, in 60 minutes. So basically minute hand is moving completely from 12 to again 12. It is starting from 12 and ending to 12. So basically the minute hand is crossing how much degrees over here? 60 degrees. As we know, in 1 hour, if we are moving from 12 to 1 o'clock, basically here how much degrees we are crossing? Here we are crossing 30 degrees, and in 1 minute we will cross 6 degrees, and in 5 minutes we are crossing 30 degrees. Okay, in 5 minutes we are crossing 30 degrees. So these were the facts that are very much important now this was the summary of the fact that we have to keep in mind regarding solving the questions. Okay, now nextly, what things that we have to keep in mind? Again, some of the facts that I will discuss with you. Before that, screenshot this one. Okay, here look into these facts. Okay, once again, in each hour, minute hand is covering 55 minutes distance more than the hour hand. Okay, now consider that, for example, we have taken now the time is 1 hour, 10 o'clock. Now the time when the our hand is moving from 10 to 11. When this our hand, this is for example the our hand, it is moving from 10 to 11. Basically when this our hand is moving from 10 to 11, it means it is 1 hour, right? It is covering 1 hour basically. So in 1 hour, in each hour, the minute hand is covering 55 minutes distance more than the hour hand. Basically here minute hand is covering distance of only 5 minutes, right? Hour hand is covering the distance of only 5 minutes. Now the hour hand is at 10, our hand is moving from 10 to 11. So basically our hand has covered distance of how much minute? From 10 to 11. It means it has covered distance of only 5 minutes, right? But the minute hand in 1 hour, minute hand in 1 hour will cover how many minutes? It is covering 55 minutes. Basically it is covering 60 minutes, right? It is covering, the minute hand is covering in 1 hour, it is carrying 60 minutes, right? In 1 hour it is covering 60 minutes, but the hour hand in 1 hour is covering only how much minutes? If we see, it is covering the distance of, it is covering the distance of only 5 minutes. So basically if we compare these two statements, we get this one, that in each hour minute hand is covering 55 minutes more distance than that of the hour hand, because the minute hand is covering 60 minutes and the hour hand is covering the distance of only 5 minutes. Okay, so basically it is covering 55 minutes distance less than that of the minute hand. Okay, this is the thing that we have learnt over here. Now the second fact that we will learn over here is the hour hand in 1 hour covers a distance of 5 minutes. Okay, as I told you that the hour hand in 1 hour, now the time is 10 o'clock, from 10 to 11, if the hour hand is moving, it is covering the distance of 30 degrees. 30 degrees is equivalent to how many minutes? It is equivalent to 5 minutes. So basically whenever 1 hour occurs, it means that 1 hour agar cover ho gaya, it means that it is covering the distance of how many minutes? It is covering the distance of 5 minutes. Do not say that it is covering 5 minutes, it is covering the distance of 5 minutes. This is the fact that we have to remember over here. Okay, next fact that we have to keep in mind over here is whenever both the hands are making the angle of 90 degree, that is the minute hand and the hour hand, they are making the angle of 90 degree, then it means that they both lie 15 minutes from each other. They both lie 15 minutes from each other. Difference is of 15 minutes. For example, if I take the time right now is 3 o'clock. Okay, this is 3, this is 12. Okay, now the time is what? This is called the hour hand and this is the minute hand. Okay, basically now the time what we can find out over here is the time is 3 o'clock, right? Now we can find that both the hands are making the angle of 90 degree over here. So the angle over here is 90 degree, right? The angle over here is 90 degree. Nextly, what we can see is that when both the hands are making here 90 degree, then both are having the time difference, or we can say both are lying 15 minutes away from each other. So basically they have the gap of how much minutes? They have the gap of 15 minutes over here. Okay, this is this thing that we have to keep in mind. When both the hands make the angle of 90 degree, when both the hands are making the angle of 90 degree, both the hands are making the angle of 90 degree, then the difference in between between them is of 15 minutes. Okay, difference in between them is of 15 minutes from each other. Okay, this is the thing that we have to keep in mind. Also the same thing that we have to keep in mind, that the angle made by hour hand and minute hand is 90 degree. In 1 hour this occurs twice. Okay, hour hand and minute hand making the angle of 90 degree. Such a situation occurs twice in 1 hour. In 1 hour, minute hand and hour hand will make the angle of 90 degree twice. Now let us take this example itself. Now the time was 3, right? 3 o'clock. Now when the time will be 3:38 for example. Now this is the time. Now as we know, this is 3 o'clock, this is 3 o'clock. Basically when it becomes 3:28, then this minute hand will shift to this side. Okay, somewhere to this side. Sorry, let us consider this side. Okay, this side, and the hour hand will shift slightly away from 3 o'clock. it will shift slightly away from that of the 3 o'clock, right? So basically in 1 hour such condition come twice, that both the hands are making 90 degree, right? So this is the example itself. Once it will make the angle 90 degree when it is 3 o'clock, and once when it is away from some 3 o'clock, that is our hand is away, something away from that of the 3 o'clock, as well as the minute hand is at, for example we can say 3:39 or something. Okay, so this is making the angle of 90 degree over here also and over here also. So such condition can occur twice. Okay, the next thing that we have to keep in mind is that in 1 hour this condition is occurring, in 1 hour such condition is occurring twice, that minute hand and hour hand, that is both hands, we can say both hands are making 90 degree. Okay, forming the angle of 90 degree. So this is the thing that we have to keep in mind. Okay, nextly, so basically in today's lecture what we have seen is, we have seen regarding the clock, that are the different parts of the clock, that is the face of the clock and the hands of the clock. In face of the clock we have seen that the visible portion is nothing but the face of the clock, right? And nextly what we have seen is that the hands of the clock, there are 3 hands of the clock, that is second hand, minute hand and hour hand. Nextly we have seen the circumference of the circle is equivalent to 360 degree. It means that in 360 degree 60 equal parts of the clock have been divided, and in 60 equal parts we find the 60 minutes, and one part is equivalent to 1 minute. Okay, nextly what we have seen is that our hand in 1 hour is going to cover 30 degree. Okay, so in 1 hour our hand will cover 30 degree, and nextly what we have seen is minute hand in 5 hands makes an angle of 30 degree. That is, in minute hand if we consider 5 minutes have been occurred, it means it is covering how many 30 degrees it is covering. Okay, this we have seen. In each hour we have seen at the same time that the minute hand covers 55 minutes distance more than that of the hour hand, and hour hand in 1 hour is covering the distance of 5 minutes. Okay, so nextly thing that we have to keep in mind, that when both hands make the angle of 90 degree, then they lie 15 minutes away from each other. This is the one fact that we have to keep in mind. So in today's lecture we have just seen the facts regarding the clock, and in next lecture we will discuss all the questions that can be asked in the clock wala portion regarding the reasoning portion. Okay,